What do they say? Follow that. I don't think I can very well, but what I've done is just a tiny little thing. My name is John Fisher. I'm 79 years old and I live in Somerset. Last year in July, I received a letter, and normally, I expect one or two of you have received this letter. It's all right, I'm not used to doing things like this. Normally that would have gone straight in the bin, but that little yellow leaflet, it was most intriguing. And I looked at it and I thought, well, that's very personal. So without reading too much of it, I decided that I wanted to find out a little bit more. So I phoned and got the pack down. And as I read the green brochure, it all began to make a lot of sense to me, because I've lived in the country all my life and I've been associated with farming most of my life. Over 50 years ago, farmers were feeding all their cattle mineral licks. So what? I didn't even notice it. It was something that happened. Apart from the obvious fact that they were short of minerals, I didn't know anything else. But obviously, if the minerals aren't in the ground, then they're going to be deficient in them, aren't they? 2 days later, I had a telephone call from that gentleman down there, Mr. Graham Masterton. And we had a long chat, the first of many. But by the end of my first chat, I was a distributor for Simply Naturals. So I got started before I'd even taken them. My pack duly arrived, and I then began to read. And the more I read, the more my enthusiasm bubbled. I've started one family business and passed that on to one of the girls, but I could see here a huge potential for another family business. So now I talked to the family about it, and we've now got 2 daughters, 1 son, and 2 granddaughters that are distributors. So it's easy to get distributors, isn't it? That's where the easy part stopped. I just had to prove to myself that the minerals worked. And yes, they do work. They work very well. So then we come to, how do we get customers? Maybe I shouldn't say this, but it's how I feel after years of dropping leaflets and getting very little back. I'm not saying that I don't give out brochures, I do. But I'm a little bit impatient. I like people, I like to talk to people face to face. So we thought, let's have a sizzle evening. Good name. So we got to it and we invited 15 people to a sizzle evening. And they all came and sat in our lounge, some on high chairs, some on low, but they could all see the telly. And I had been given a DVD made by the company some little while ago about a sizzle event. And we had played this once or twice and thought, well, it's okay, it'll do. And we set them all down, we invited our customers in, and I thought, well, I'd better hand out a couple of sheets. So we put out the information sheet. God, horse, fingers and thumb. and the subclinical. I'll come to that one in a minute. But this one has got, you've obviously seen it all, it's got all the diseases and all sorts of things on there. And we said to people, or I said to the people, these are very, very personal to you. So I don't want them back. You have a look at them, and you may know a loved one or a relative or a friend who's got one of these afflictions, and you may be able to help them. I said to them, I cannot guarantee anything. We don't offer any cures or anything like that. All I can do is tell you what happened to me. After about 4 or 5 weeks on the minerals, I had a huge surge of energy. My wife and I were out in the garden, working away as you do, and the phone rang. Gwen said, I'll get it. And I said, no, that's all right, I'll get it. And I just took off. I ran. For the first time in years, I literally ran. I didn't shuffle or amble along. I took off. I heard my wife telling one of the children that evening about the event. Don't get it wrong. And I heard her say, you should have seen your father. He went by me like a bloody gazelle. But we watched the DVD. It only took about 20 minutes. And how many do you think we signed up out of the 15? No, we weren't 100%, much to my disgust. We signed 14 people. It's a very, very fun way of writing business. I think, excuse me for reading, but the minerals haven't got to my memory yet. It doesn't take you too far out of your comfort zone, because obviously if you start doing something like this and you've never done anything like it before, you know, you think, how am I going to get people in? How do I tell people about it? Yes, you can give out your brochures, but there are other ways. There are other ways, and this is a real fun way of doing it. So it doesn't take you out of your comfort zone. You start with families and friends. They were all families and friends. I've got a few left. But my wife says if I keep talking minerals to everybody as soon as I meet them, I'm going to run out of friends very quickly. The DVD is not finished. It's not the finished article yet. So to that end, Paul and myself are working together. We don't agree one little bit, but we're working together to try and find a video that'll help you as much as it's helped us. And I think once you get it, it will make a difference. I'm sure it will. Thank you for listening. I would leave you with one little thought. Our health is not expensive. It's absolutely priceless. Thank you.